What's happening? My name is Dr. Clarence, broadcasting live and direct from Zimbabwe, Africa. What has been happening today? What is happening today, the 2nd of November, the year 2024? November is an interesting month because there's this guy called Wycliffe who would sing a song, I'll be gone to November, I'll be gone to November, right? For that, it is a very nice month. But in Zimbabwe, it brings a remembrance of a certain time. Can we say nostalgia? Yes, people were hopeful those days. And now we're in the month of November. We're seeing things changing there in Botswana. And we're seeing our ruling party, Ichitwa party in SADC. It's said that ever since they associated with the Botswanian counterparty, then things fell apart there, like Chinua Achebe style. Anyway, before we see what people are saying there, we watch this, we see who, none other than Shepherd Bushiri. Yes, we're talking about the bad man of the Bible who flogged back to Malawi after the police in South Africa, they were after him. Now he announced that he's going to be running for presidency the next election, but he would make a prophecy on this one. And this is the prophecy here. Enough respect to everybody who's watching us live. To those watching us live, you can write your comments in the top chat or in the super chat. That's how you get to see your name, so you can give me a shout out. Also, please do confirm if you can hear me loudly and clearly.
In Botswana, I saw elections taking place.
All right, let me just change the sound card there. Let me connect the internal sound card there. This one would have connected itself, but it's me who connected it myself, but I don't know how I redid that. Enough respect.
And I saw that God will give the ruling party to have more advantage. But the problem.
God said, I saw God will, the ruling party, to give more advantage. So when we listen to the language this guy speaks, we can get an insight of what type of person he is, right? I saw the ruling party getting advantage, right? So his prediction doesn't come out as is. Is it the problem of Zanu PF, or maybe God changed his mind?
Is it that we have issues with electorate? They have even some more problems to have even the members of parliament, where they really have to understand what we're talking about. There will be this, where they might have the problem of getting 50%. However, on the presidency,
there will be this where the man has the problem of getting 50%. So that prophecy did come true, because the guy would get, I think it's 4 parliamentary seats out of 61. We're talking about the former ruling party. It's now the last opposition.
I saw the hand of God going into the ruling party. Now, I want us to pray for Botswana. I understand what I'm saying.
I saw the hand of God going into Botswana. Now, I want us to pray for Botswana. Right, so the video would end here. We don't get the clear context of why whatever will be happening in election where the ruling party will be winning. I want us to pray for Botswana. Maybe the guys, they did pray and the ties 10, so it's not clear here. Whatever it is, but it is what it is. Some things like this are meant for testimony, or are they? I don't know. All right, so this is not clear. It's cut there. Now we're supposed to pray for Botswana. It is not clear, but that is one of the videos that is trending concerning the nation of Botswana, there, as we as Africans are celebrating a victory in terms of democracy there. It's not necessarily that we advocate for liberation movements to be out of power, but yes, it will be better to have people who can now focus on now, not on past successes and liberation era things. So we will do a video on why Duma Boko would win the Botswana elections. So personally, this Botswana election, this Duma Boko, it's somebody I hadn't looked into. I did not think that he would not win or win, right? I didn't have that bias. I didn't have a look into the factors beforehand. The only factor I had was the previous election result, and the previous election result alone showed that the ruling party would continue to win. However, something that would be different in Botswana is the performance of their economy that had never happened before. The way it declined this time, it declined like it has never declined before. So that would be a factor. But operating from a Zimbabwean mindset, still, it wouldn't seem to me that an opposition would win. However, at the same time, when these results come, I am not shocked. What would shock me is the reaction of President Mogesi Masisi. President Mogesi Masisi is one person who has refused to comply with the SADC guys over a lot of things that didn't favor his people, a lot of treaties that would undermine their industry there. We know Botswana. In my head, Botswana and Zambia, they're just neighboring countries, our neighboring countries, so they're in a certain group at the same time. But anyways, Botswana is Africa's largest diamond producer. They nationalized the diamonds from the onset of their independence. That's why they would prosper. So even to a time where we see them refusing some SADC treaties, how they would be protecting the industry. So the economic problem happening in Botswana is basically that there were fluctuations in the diamond market as a whole. So this would raise eyebrows, like our nation, we have come thus far, but we haven't traveled far in that we haven't diversified in other industries. We are specialized or focused, or we haven't diversified depending on their vision. Are they specialized or have been single-sighted? Those are all possibilities. Then we see commenting on the Botswana election. This will be coming here. All right, I'm seeing my power just running out there on my battery, the inverter. So this place I am at, I can't get a bigger solar panel. There is a lot of criminal activity happening here. The place is like a dystopia type of ghetto with trying to be crab mentality. A person who cannot lift anybody up cannot bring anybody down, right? For them to be able to do that, they would have to be bigger than my Father, who is here with me and inside me, who is the Holy Spirit. So they have to be bigger than who He, whose word I live by. And of course, this flesh I give it bread.
To perform badly. And I think the other issues are bread and butter issues. Botswana were not.
Now he's talking about bread and butter issues. She's talking about bread and butter issues. Sorry. This lady from SADC is one of our legendary reporters. And she's a man when it comes to broadcasting.
Not happy in terms of the direction the country was taking, the corruption, the association with Zimbabwe also, and the Zimbabwean...
The association with, she posed a bit, with Zimbabwe also. It's an issue which touches there because she has been to Zimbabwe. She has been an SABC correspondent to Zimbabwe. So Zimbabwe has a place in her heart. She has a place for Zimbabwe in her heart, right? So she would go emotional there when she mentions the name Zimbabwe. The only reason why she's doing that, she's just bringing Zimbabwe into the narrative.
Zanu PF officials being so brazen going to that country during elections, posting on social media.
Zanu PF officials being so brazen, going to that country and posting on social media. Big up to Stanford, Makwengwere, they're watching us live. Let us continue to see what happens. So this is a reporter. She's asking, that's what reporters do. Sometimes they ask leading questions, right, so that they can scrutinize a case. But here we are seeing, I can't find the word, it's not sympathizing with the people of Zimbabwe, but feeling for Zimbabweans, concern for Zimbabweans, something like that. That is why she would be bringing this story up. Because Zimbabwe, it has been a noisemaker to an extent of, I assume that people may be tired of hearing of it. But here she is rooting for Zimbabwe, and a lot of people, actually, Zimbabweans, we have that blessing that a lot of nations root for us.
Their support for the BDP, yes, we know they are former liberation organization, but don't rub it in, particularly when you know that in your own country you have...
Yes, you are liberation movements, we understand that, but don't rub it in. Right. So it would have been something that would be unexpected. But on the part of Zanu PF, what I would say is this. A Zanu PF person is a Zanu PF person. How they view Zanu PF and somebody who is not in Zanu PF are two different ways. Right. They are celebrated. They have people who vote for them. They do their rallies. They have people who chant ED 2030, etc. That is what a Zanu PF person would be seeing. Another person who may be non-partisan, like me, will see another view. As for me in particular, I see all the possible views, or the views that I think are all the possible views, because I try to look things at all perspectives, right? So all that, but a person inside the political party would see a certain perspective. Now, depending on them, are they open-minded to look at other possibilities? Then if they look at other possibilities, can they actually view them in the first person perspective? They may know this and this happens, people view us like this, but can they be in another person's perspective?
Have issues, and therefore I think the other issue that is becoming a problem, it is the Zanu PF in the region. It's becoming notorious.
Zanu PF in the region is becoming notorious.
At the time, its president is the leader of
its president.
SADC. You know, he even congratulate.
Enter the SADC issue. Now, Botswana hosts the SADC. Is it an issue or a matter of concern? Who's concerned? What we know is the Botswana leader, Kama, would play a part concerning Zimbabwe in the year 2008, to the extent that there is a South Africa SADC meeting where we see the Botswana leader there will be boycotting it, and when he did boycott it, the boycott was very significant. But right now, of course, Hichilema boycotting, semi-boycotting, passive boycotting was Signia, but not that much insignia. It was more insignia than signia, more significant than insignificant. Sorry.
Mozambique, even before the Electoral Commission of Mozambique could pronounce results, and therefore these issues, leaders are arrogant, they think don't count, and they tend to undermine the voters. And sometimes the voters are watching every move. And I think the issue of arrogance, the issue of sidelining those who supported you when it was not fashionable to do so, always leads to disaster.
Sure. And I suppose a sobering lesson for future leaders. Speaking of that, Duma Boko, I imagine, is going to be a whole lot more of a popular man than he was before this week. You'll tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems there's going to be a lot of focus.
Now, another one, they interject, says, Boko, I think he's going to be a popular man than he was. That is very true. From this, we are selling the will of the people of Botswana, how they really did do move. Because the guy, of course, he did run three times, right? I don't know his popularity. I don't know how popular he is. But when I'll be looking at the election before, I was looking into that concerning Kama's son. I'm confused the name, Seretse and Ian. The one is the father, the other one is the father, the other one is the son. This Kama, this is Ian now, right? Wanted to run for presidency, but he would not run for presidency. So that's when I would see UDC and Duma Boko, and I see that, okay, the guy, this one, there's an umbrella cooperation there of opposition parties, and he has got a little bit of significant votes, and he is the one who calls for anti-Zimbabwe protest or anti-Mnangagwa protest or anti-Zimbabwe rigging in Botswana protest that would happen there in Botswana. It is this who has just gotten the victory there. So when I looked at it, I looked at the results, and I was calculating, this guy, why would he want to be doing that protest when the last election he got this much number of votes and number of seats? It was a very low percentage. And then victory, just like that, the arrow goes up, which is very eye-opening. And of course, anything can happen, but sometimes we are blinded.
Around him possibly taking over, moving forward. He's a lawyer, he's a jurist, he's been in the National Assembly before. What else do we know about him?
Well, I think he's very accessible. I've interacted with him many times. He's quite accessible. And if he's able to maintain that posture, I expect him to be.
He is accessible. I have quite a time interacted with him. In other words, he's saying he's a free-spirited person. Somebody I can talk to. That is what accessible means, or approachable. Why would she be saying that? Because a person is either they are approachable, accessible, or not, regardless of their present status.
To his people, to the voters, and to be loyal to the ordinary people, Botswana, not necessarily his cabinet or his friends, but he must remember that Botswana has decided that he must take over.
Then she would close there by giving advice that he must realize that Botswana people have said he must take over. So if she's somebody who has interacted with him, it means she knows something, and obviously she's giving some advice in a way that maybe if he is watching the video, he would understand. Teachman says, hi doc, guys, Mazimba are Mozambique one. Cause faz yakabirira muno ndo kwa iri. I know what's going on. But Mazimba are one ku Mozambique. What is happening at Mazimba are Mozambique? Can you give me more information on what is happening there? Chiwenga is something that needs to be talked about because we wish for all people to be safe wherever we are. be it us Zimbabweans or any other people from any other, but obviously home is closer than anything first. So Zimbabweans would be my first concern, because I am a Zimbabwean. So we need to know what is happening, right? What does it involve? Things like that. What is really happening? Are we seeing blame or what? As in, what would have said to have happened? Maybe somebody may be saying, your people did this, your people did this. Because I don't know how other people would perceive it. But it's very possible that your government interfered here. It's a possibility that can happen. So can you just give me that? Just type a little bit so we can get context. Then also I'll look on it so I can maybe find if there is any information on that. Recently we saw Air Marshal Elson Moyo involved in an accident. Then we see now a publish where VP Chiwenga is said to have spoken on Air Force boss assassination attempt. What does he have to say on this? Remember, the Zanu PF factions are existent in the supporters or in the factions themselves, whatever they are. So either these guys are in good books, or from face value they are in good books, whatever it is. So that they are not in good books is not substantiated. So we would see a video now emerging from an old time where Chiwenga is speaking. That is before we go to what he talks about the assassination attempt on an air marshal. What does he say here? Before we go there again, rewind 3 steps back. On social media, we're seeing a lot of people rooting for Chiwenga. I don't know if they are rooting for Chiwenga or for just another leader for now, because maybe people don't believe they can vote and we can have a new government. Not necessarily for a political party. We should also have a democratic liberation of the mind, not thinking political party is just an organization, just like an NGO. I'm not obviously to fall under political parties in Zimbabwe, but a political party is just like any NGO. That is the reality. In practice and in any other sense. Just that people may create statutory instruments or what that decide to specifically focus on a certain type of registered organization. That is a matter of not much mattering, but it may be that in issue of numbers, in that kuma passport offices kwedu tinowanza vanosevhisa vanhu vari kuda zvitupa than vanhu vari kuda mavhisa ekuya muZimbabwe, because vanhu vari kuda mavhisa ekuya muZimbabwe vashoma kana kuti tinodhira navo kwavanosvikira. Saka kumakombe kuchanyanya kukonzentrata nezvezvitupa, right? But pakuzvitupa ikoko ishu yanamaita ikwekwedza vakomana hamusi kuona kuti manyanya here azviite. What has she done? Namata ikwekwedza is not a murderer, right? If anything, she may just be caught up with guys who are mature in certain experiences in life and who are from different types of mindsets. That one, she would begin her passion from schooling, starting from public speaking, those things like that. It is really a passion from her. Arisidhirire kutsvagisa mari, and kana achita mari ngaaite mari kwaari. If there are those who want to support him and fund him because they have a good heart, right? Why is it that we find money that is coming from good heart evil, but when money going out in an evil way. Maybe the people taking that money in an evil way think they can say the one getting good money is evil. Anyway, I would not understand. I would just know that the Bible says that we will always have the evil among us. But Jesus died on the cross, so they are losers. Men, we are here to be Adam. Remember, man is created after the fall of Lucifer. We were created to take that position. So obviously Lucifer will be jealous, but that is not his business, because he can't do anything about it. He cannot uncreate human beings, and that is none of his business. Our business is to be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, to be productive, to do something, to make scientific discoveries, to name the animals and all the elements, to take over and to conquer. Teachman says Mozambique promised the members, Zimbabwe members that they are coming for us. Promised the members that they are coming for us. Pakaipa wangu, I'm there, I'm safe because I have a junior citizen. But kurukufiwa even now about few hours zashirira Mumaputo. I don't know what's happening. I'll look into it right now. For now, let us just all pray that God help us, help Zimbabweans in Mozambique, and Mozambicans in Mozambique. The situation there, and we really need God to intervene in this situation, like the type of good way that we as men don't understand. Sometimes we limit God because we want to be understanding God. In Jesus' name, amen. Anzi apana anovabisa vamurambwi tiri pano kusvikira pavanenge vakuda. Right, I think there he will be talking about maybe they talk about him leaving early before his term expires. So with that, obviously somebody who won an election and the apana anovabisa, but time just comes to end, and inenge yapera yatingati akapedza time yake. Hapana anofana kumborota kuti mangwana zvichaita pangu kana zvingadai zvingaite sei. Right, so we can hear him speaking. I think he's also speaking on his behalf. Maybe this is a political speech, a strategic speech. Right, so I'm speaking in a certain pattern. I'm not trying to be politically correct. Essence, what I'm saying is what I'm saying. Right, hapana angamboti zvingaite pangu. The only person zvingaite pake. If you are president, Mnangagwa stops to be president, the vice president becomes the president. It is him himself speaking. Tinoda takuda kugadzirisa nyika zvokuramba tichimhanya nepolitics mazuva ese. Take note of the word politics. Politics madrama. Kutsvaka mavhosi, tukana kunyepa kucha say that is politics. That is what politics is about. That is why there is something that is called political rhetoric. That is politics by definition and in practice. So politics is different from governance. Even though people in government may be politicians and they be politicking. But people who do not be politicking are people like Timba Mliswa. He was really somebody who did deliver in his community. Another person who was not politicking is Chino Timba, Joseph Chino Timba. But if those guys were the way they were and they never did anything in their communities, when I'm saying did anything, I mean did exceptional. They did exceptional, those guys. That is what we would call politicking. Zuwa nezuwa tanguya kuti chef tikutendei kubva pano takutaura politics development kwete politics. From now let's speak on so basically he's saying please nyaya dzekuramba tichiita politics ndani makapenga nebutiliking ngatitaure tadaiso. So yesterday we see Chiwenga again at another school in Zimbabwe, doing the things that he does when he goes to school, the same things that we see President Mnangagwa doing when they go to school, because I don't want to be sounding as if I'm supporting any of the two. However, Mnangagwa, I want him to leave, and they should. It means Chiwenga is the one coming in. I will have an option. I don't know if next election I would have reached the edge. Kwete zokuramba chitema mahumbu hazvina zvazvinobatsira. Whether munhu ari muopposition nyangwe ari kupi, tikutaura kuti shumba murambwi vanogara varipo nokuti muzodziwawo mambo ndivo vakasarudzwa kuti vavepo. Zvikadaiwo ndofunga makore akadaiwo zvedu zvinenge zvanaka. So he says muzodziwawo mambo. I can't understand that one. I have many perspectives on that. What does that mean? Because at the same time, our leaders are a significant people. It is God who chooses leaders, etc. So that doctrine, I'm not aware of it, but it is something, or it may be nothing. It is something that I haven't looked at. I don't know which mambo he's talking about. Is he talking about the only king, the king of kings, or another king? Saka vamwe vachivhotoka mazuva apera nyararai. I like the authority. Toda waka Zimbabwe ine mtsindo. All right, I respect for those lines there. So that message is very clear. So besides to Mnangagwa and Diani, these Zanu PF guys should just deliver. Okay. It is a very true statement. They're coming. I hope I read statement. This is the year 2024. The basics are not yet based. It seems the foundation is still shaky, is not yet set. I don't know what are we using. Cement? Are we using a quick set, slow set, or non-set, or another set of cement to build the foundation of our nation? What should be my founding values, the foundation? What matters in a state? My priorities, what do we focus on? Do we still have that focus? Or we have been fogged and changed focus and caucus. Now everything is circus. Of course, we may have people who are very serious, but they may be serious in other things, like seriously looting. So I'll look into the Mozambique issue. May God help us there. There's this song I listen to at times that is coming from Thomas Mapfumo, Zimbabwe and Mozambique. I don't understand his line when he says what he means there, what he meant, if he meant to mean anything. It's a line I didn't get there. But on my own part, Mozambique would be a more of an ally than to us as compared to Zambia. Of course, I am speaking in biased terms. I have those biases, which leaves a chance that I may be biased and correct, or biased and wrong. With that, I sign out. Dr. Clarence is the name. TV7 Live is the channel. As always, thank you for watching. And do remember to pray for Zimbabweans in Mozambique and elsewhere in the world. Right? Prayers don't have to be fancy or what. God does just is there in your heart. What matters is your will, your vote, your devote. Okay, your will, your wish, your desire for something, your passion. No matter who you are, don't look down upon yourself. Know this. Mwari wacho na yeye, whoever he is, ndiye akatokusika iwewe. Kana uchunga ta hako right, iwewe uriko, ndiwe evidence yachona.